stock picker into the AMC movie theater stock. It's roiling again after news of a potential $11 million share sale. AMC may sell the shares with a trading phenomenon pushing the stock movie theater chain up almost 3,000% this year, although it's down quite a bit today. 140% just this week, and again, though, down a lot today. AMC acknowledging that the phenomenon today in a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission when it announced the potential sale of shares from time to time. Meanwhile, AMC Entertainment CEO is getting a $3.7 million bonus, and his sons are also millionaires as well. Bloomberg reporting that Adam Aron gifted them 500,000 shares of the theater chain stock back in March, and those shares are now worth about $15 million. Not a bad gift from Dad. Let's welcome in now financial analyst and president of Zuma Global, Heather Zumaraga. She's also the author of A Man's Corporate Guide to Corporate Culture. I should say A Man's Guide to Corporate Culture, only one corporate in there. Also with Seth Denson, business and market analyst and the author of The Cure, a blueprint for solving America's healthcare crisis. All right, let's huddle up and talk about AMC. Heather, it's down about 20% today, pretty volatile. And again, you know, there's so much publicity and coverage of these single stocks now. I don't think anybody, well, a lot of people don't really look at the fundamentals here and they jump on board. It causes this wild kind of rides for these stocks. And the question is, I mean, the SEC doesn't seem to have their arms around this problem. Are they able to keep up with this stuff, Heather?
Right. Well, no, not now. I mean, if you look back, we've talked about GameStop before. So if you're not a day trader at home and you're wondering why AMC stock almost doubled yesterday, it's down 20% today, stock was halted this morning. There's this Reddit platform, Robinhood chat rooms that have fueled the rise of the day trader, causing a retail boom. And they're manipulating some of the stock prices of GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, all of these corporations that are commonplace. They're household names that we all know about. And if you look at AMC's value, even after today's drop, it is worth more right now than half of the companies by market cap and the S&P 500. So I do like going to the movie theaters, but I think they have big competition with streaming. Yeah. And I just can't believe how much volatility we're seeing in these stocks right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if the SEC gets involved.
I know. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous now because you can stream one of these movies at home, like these Disney movies. It's like $30 to stream, and it's like
Cruella,
it sounds like a lot of money, but you know, Heather, it costs $100 to go to a movie with your kids nowadays. So $30 actually sounds like kind of a bargain. Plus, you can have, if you're the adult, you can have your own liquor. I'll leave that there. But Seth, the other thing too, when we look at these sons, that seems like a nice score, right? Your dad gives you 500,000 shares of the movie chain company, and all of a sudden it goes to the moon, and you're worth 15 or $30 million. But the Biden administration now is talking about some retroactive taxes on things like capital gains. What is this going to mean for investors?
Well, I think there's a couple of things to consider there. First of all, and I'll kind of challenge something. I don't think the SEC should get involved in what's going on in this Reddit scenario, and here's why I say that. I think that the market is a scary place if you're not an investor that understands what's going on and looks at business fundamentals, and buyer beware, that's on you. So again, I'm more of the SEC staying out of it. Now, specific to this situation where the Suns are gifted stock, yeah, that's areas where maybe we need to look at it. Specific to the capital gains structure, though, man, this is a really big one, not just to investors, but listen, we always think about, we talk about capital gains, we think about the Jeff Bezoses of the world. Here's the ones that are really challenged by what the Biden administration is talking about doing. That's small business owners. Yeah. There are, on average, about 10,000 small business transactions selling their business per year. Biden's talking about a retro capital gains tax. That means all these people that invested their life savings into growing their business without oftentimes retirement to plan to sell their business, they now may get a tax bill. And that is really a terrifying thing to think I made plans and yet those plans are foregone, not based on what I saw coming, based on what happened, and I had no control over it.
You know, Seth, I will say this, though. I was reading an article today about Bernie Madoff and how they're still trying to track down where the money went with his Ponzi scheme. And the question was then, where were the regulators? Where was the SEC? How did this stuff go on and on? Look, I'm not a fan of, you know, a lot of government intervention, but, you know, we have the SEC for a reason. They're supposed to kind of, you know, prevent all this wild speculation that we have in the stock market. Heather, what do you think about that? I mean, don't the regulators have a role to play here?
Well, right. But his point is if you're speculating on stocks like AMC to make a lot of money in a short period of time, it's very different from Bernie Madoff, to your point, or how they're Republicans have proposed actually increasing the IRS force, to have people collect the taxes that maybe some wealthy are being fraudulent and hiding taxes that are owed and due. And so I'm all for that instead of increasing taxes. But I do appreciate, tying it back to AMC, I have never heard a company before say that you could lose it all. Be prepared to lose it all, saying that recent market volatility does not reflect their true fundamental value of the company. When in history have you ever heard a CEO say that?
You got to enjoy the honesty. It's like in one of those movie trailers. In a world where you're willing to risk it all on one stock.
Yes.
Hey, John, it's important to note, too, though, that AMC lost $150 million in 2019. So this isn't a pandemic issue. Their fundamentals were off long before the pandemic.
Right, and fundamentals are important here, which brings me to our next question real quickly. And I always like to leave the audience with some tips. Maybe, and just a reminder, though, free stock advice is worth the price. You pay for it. But right now, you do see some companies, I think I saw like Spotify was down like 38%. And there might be some, because of this volatility, some value out there in the market. First to you, Heather, then to you, Seth, real quickly, 30 seconds each. Anything that you guys like right now in the markets?
No, cash is king. You wait, but with inflation on the horizon, you wait and then you buy commodities, not necessarily gold and silver, but maybe oil. And you take advantage of any qualified plans at your employer right now, like 401k and IRA, for example, those tax advantage strategies, because you know what? The tax man is coming. That retroactive cap gains tax is going to hurt. So try and put your money away where you can, tax advantage savings with your employer.
All right, we're starting the plywood fund. Yes. Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, listen, I'm kind of with Heather. I'm holding, but on a lot of things, outdoor stocks, I think we'll still see a steady gain as long as they already haven't seen the bump. I'm looking at things that pay off a dividend. That's something I'm always, but again, I'm always about the long term, not the short term. Short term gain guy, I'm not your guy for that.
Right. I don't know anything about the stock market. I do have some. It's not timing the market. It's time in the market, right, Seth?
That's it. That's exactly right.
All right. Great to see you guys, Seth and Heather. We'll see you guys next week.